Because I didn't know about you ahead of time, and since I interviewed with her, I gave her a little test. I'm a lot different. All the questions Sandra asked, I developed. Right? They're very specific questions to test certain things. So right brain people are the idea driven. I'm very right brain. All right, they're usually very outspoken, very emotional, and granted, I don't have really that part, but they're highly motivated. They move very quickly. Really right brain people, you'll see they bounce their feet or they fidget constantly. You're probably very right brain.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, which is really surprising since you got an art major, because that's a very left brain thing, or minor. So left brain people are your number people.
She's special.
Right? they're usually very quiet, very contained, but they can focus like a laser on things that would bore right brain people to death. So like transactional stuff versus transformational stuff. Transactional stuff is like spreadsheets or routine kind of daily tasks, right? And as a right brainer, repetitive stuff like that, I would rather poke myself in the eye with a hot needle. It drives me nuts. Left brain people, they live for that stuff. And I've got friends on both sides, right? And when you're running an operation like this, a business or anything, right? You need to have both right brainers and left brainers. Right brainers are great salespeople. Left brainers suck at it because they don't know really how to communicate with people, right? And they're not really outgoing, so they're very uncomfortable doing it. Oh man. This Scott. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. No, it lets you accept it and then I have to approve it. Mm-hmm.
There was a, with Rain,
Okay.
there's like a YouTube video.
Okay,
that
well
I took
I'm
with
doing
my
training right
granddaughter,
now. So as soon as we take a break, I'll figure it out.
And that's from like,
All right, talk to you in a minute.
Disney Playhouse, the little Mickey Mouse, and it's the
She loves
cutest little
Mickey
thing.
Mouse.
Okay.
It's a really cute little video. I'll find it and send it to you. It's a cute little video
So,
to teach how to brush your teeth.
Thank you.
Right brain people, right, are like me. They're really good on stage, really good speakers, really good teachers. Your left brain people are like some of the math teachers I had at A&M. They're brilliant at math, but they're terrible teachers, right? Because they don't know how to associate with people. And so when you're building a business, you can't have all right brainers and nothing will ever get done, right? We're all running like mad. So in business, there's 4 animals in business. There's the rabbit, the owl, the turtle, and the squirrel. Rabbits are like me. It's idea, right? And we don't stay for the long course, right? We create it, we build it, we're gone because we don't want to run it. That's not fun for us, right? So that's kind of the cool thing about this business is I can build one and move on to the next, build one and move on to the next, build one and move on to the next. And now that I've added 3 new AIs on top of that, I've got ideas that are going to last me like a decade. Then you got your owls, and your owls are usually your C-suite kind of people. They're highly intelligent, and they have they've got some of the idea stuff, but they don't really have the execution or the nerve that the rabbits do. Rabbits will run through anything, right? We don't really care, we just run. And owls are much more thinking, they're more focused on like making the things work, right? So they're really good at taking a rabbit's ideas and thoughts and things like that, making them understandable and passing them down to the team, right? So the team can execute. And so then you've got your squirrels. Your squirrels always prepare for the winter, right? Oh my God, this might happen, bury a nut here. Oh my God, it's coming, bury a nut here, right? So they're the ones in your business that look for the things that can go wrong, okay? You need several squirrels, but if you have too many, your whole company thinks it's gonna die every single day, right? And then you have your turtles. And your turtles are the ones that always move forward. They're very slow. They never really vary off course. They just keep going and every now and then they win the race because the rabbit's off doing something else, right? And so you need a ton of turtles in your business. When I get it all set up, you're actually going to do disc tests and one other test. that tell me exactly what your personality type is like. And that way I'll know, because it'll help me match you with certain clients, it'll help me match you with certain job descriptions and all that kind of stuff. And once we get that locked in, everybody will do that test. We'll know like which caregivers would be really good working together, which would be a great manager in our memory care, which would be a great caregiver in our memory care, right? And especially with caregivers, this test is DISC, right? And I'm a really high I. I think I is independence. And so caregivers need to be a really high, I think it's S. Is that social care confidence? I think it's high. It's like you can't have any D or I to be a real good caregiver, because you have to be that really compassionate. Maybe it's C. I think C is compassion. So you have to be a really high C, right? Because that's what gives you the ability to care for people constantly, right? Gives you that giant heart. It also means you get hurt really, really easily, right? Because you are all heart. So when we build this business, I'm looking for a lot of C's. So one of the things we're going to do is in the application portion of this thing, you're going to actually have to take the DISC test before you come in an interview. Because that way we know if we want to bring you in or not. Because we'll know if you are, built to be a caregiver. So last night, I told this guy, I said, okay, when you go home tonight, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to email me when you get home. And I'm an alien. I've never been to Earth before. I don't know the language. I don't know anything about the planet. I want you to tell me how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Oh, yeah. Conscientiousness instead of compassion. And S is steadiness. I told him, and one of my mentors actually is the one that came up with this idea. And to do it, what you really want is I want to see that somebody that's that left brain can still communicate with somebody that's normal, right? And the result was actually really hilarious. And I'm not surprised knowing who he is and what he does, right? But I was like, yeah, that's not how you communicate with normal people. And the problem is in the interview, I told him, I said, look, one of the things I need to know is that you can break stuff down from geek speak into normal language, right? Because although I'm very computer savvy, I don't want to hear SQL or Python or, a code line. I don't want that. You need to be able to talk to me in a language that, anybody can understand. So that's why I gave him the test last night, and I got this email back. Let's see if I can find it. God, I had one of my interviews texting me at 10 o'clock last night.
It's like a 9 to 9 rule. Unless you're personal friends with somebody, or it's an emergency business-wise, like in the morning, that was the right thing to do. But don't bother anybody after 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
If you don't know somebody, don't call them before 9 o'clock in the morning. If it's something that you have an appointment and that's obviously different. But I had a customer a few months ago that texted me at 11:30 at night for their restaurant order, and I didn't respond. It was a Saturday night, and from 8 to 12 on Sunday morning, my phone is off because I'm at church.
Okay, here it is.
And then I texted him later and told him, said, boundaries.
Right?
It was not like a caregiver where somebody had fallen and there was an emergency.
It's like a
That's
new restaurant order.
So if you're going to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and tell me how to do it, how would you, just tell me how to build a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I've never been to Earth before. I don't speak your language.
First
You'd
wash your
show
hands.
them.
No, not. See, there's the problem. You're thinking
Wait.
inside the box.
They don't speak your language.
Right. I don't speak English. I'm from
And you
another
have to
world.
show them. You
Oh.
can't talk to them at all.
And so what are the steps?
You would go and you would eating food, you go to the pantry, you get out the things, you'd show them, you'd make it yourself, and then you'd show them and help them make it.
See, she generalized. I'm an alien.
Well,
Step by step by step. Go to the store, buy bread. Oh, you don't know what bread is. Bread comes in a plastic bag. It's tied up at the end. It's got slices so you can use individual pieces. You buy peanut butter, it comes in a jar, it's brown. You buy jelly, you can get different flavors, right? And
Made from
you
fruit.
take them to the grocery store and you show them, right? And then you find ways to communicate with somebody that can't, right? Like sign language, right? And when I was teaching a high ropes course at A&M called Venture Dynamics, we had a deaf girl that took the course. We're working 50 feet off the ground. And when you're teaching that class, you have to be able to communicate with people 50 feet off the ground. Normally, my voice carries that high. With her, there's no way to do that.
Wow,
And she
that
couldn't
was a
read
huge
lips
challenge
from
for
up that
both of
high.
you.
So I had to learn specific sign languages to be able to talk to her and get her to talk to the people on the ground.
Wow.
Part of the problem is when you're up that high, you can't use your hands. Well, she didn't like to speak because she sounded like a deaf person, right? You know how they have that specific kind of
Yeah.
nasally tone that's not quite right? So she was embarrassed. And I told her, no, in this deal, if I have to learn sign language, you have to speak. It's your safety that's up there. I don't care what you sound like. Nobody down here is going to care what you sound like. All they care about is you being safe. So you have to be able to communicate. And you're going to find this with our clients, right? Because some of them are deaf. So you might get an autistic child. You talk about tough to communicate with, right? So you have to learn what it takes to communicate with different styles of people. So when I told him, that's what I got back. It's a logic diagram, right? He's a computer nerd. And he literally couldn't understand that if I don't speak the language, how in the hell am I going to read this diagram? Right?
Bless his heart.
Right? But to him, that was the simplest way he could break it down.
Aw.
And I was like,
That's pretty cool though. When you think
I mean,
about
that's
it.
pretty cool. I'm impressed.
well, see, I'm not at all. Because I expected that, right? Because that's what a computer geek does. That's literally his language. He understands that like that. I mean, he can look at it and know exactly what the flow through the system is, right? But we, as normal human beings, cannot. So if he's talking to like one of my other employees that he's trying to describe what's going on with our financial model and why we need to do this, and he's talking like this, it's going to be like this wall between the two of them. So that's why I asked that question. And there's another really fun. I'll ask. Let's start with you with this one. Oh no, you get the next one.
Ah, fun.
Okay. So your house is on fire. It is burning to the ground. You're
God, don't ask me that one. My house
yes.
did burn. My house did burn. So it's like the BS.
It's kind of awkward because
Were you in the house?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I saved my 8 neighbors. 6 alarm fire. I was on TV. I went back in and almost died.
Well, you're guessing it's going to look
I
like it's
know.
positive because it has before. Maybe it's not now.
Did you get him out?
Yeah, he would have spent $3,800 later.
No, go ahead, do the blood work.
And he's okay.
wow.
All right.
The
Bye.
fireman found him. Underneath
Oh
mountain.
my God, people just can't solve their own problems. Okay, so your house is on fire. I mean, it is burning to the ground. Your kiddo's out, your parents are out, your pets are out. You have 10 seconds. You can take 3 things from the house. Go.
My baby's clothes, her shoes, and the diapers and wipes.
Okay.
That's where the priorities are.
Why?
Well, because I myself can fit my mom's clothes, let's say. I can fit some of her clothes. My baby, my wallet's in the house, so I can't go and buy diapers and wipes. So I would get the diapers and wipes, because her room is actually by the door. It's like in the hallway. So I would go get all of her needed things. And since I don't have any money for my wallet burning up, I would get her diapers and wipes and some clothes and some shoes and her food.
So here's the thing. You could have grabbed your wallet, which
Yeah.
has your driver's license in it, your credit cards in it, your money in it, and you could have bought more of that stuff easily.
Actually,
You know what a pain in the butt it is to replace your driver's license or your credit cards, right? So
Well, I don't
yes,
keep
it
them
tells
in
me that she is truly focused on her child and nothing
Yeah.
else,
Yeah,
right?
that's exactly
Nothing
right.
else matters to her at all,
That's
right?
so sweet.
So, and there's no wrong answer to this unless you die in the fire, which, by the way, I asked him last night. And one of the really cool things about this test is you see how fast people can think on their feet. You have 10 seconds to come up with 3 things out of your entire life that you want to save. right? And so last night I asked him, and he's like, my laptop. Total geek, right? And then he froze, and he died in the fire. And I said, why your laptop? He goes, well, it's got all my work on it. I said, isn't it backed up in the cloud? He goes, yeah, but my passwords are on. I said, don't you use a password deal? And he's like, yeah, but some of them are just on there. I'm like, you can always reset a password, always. Everything else, and he died because he couldn't think that fast.
See, that was my thing. Is I'd be like, I want to go back and get anything. I'd get the heck out.
Yeah,
Because everything
exactly.
else is fine.
Yep.
If all my
Everything.
pets, my family are out, I'd be like my rosary, and that would probably be in my pocket, and so it'd be like, get the heck out of there.
Okay, so now your question.
Oh, funsies.
Okay, you're gonna have a dinner party.
Okay.
You can invite 5 people, living, dead, fictional, whatever. You get to invite 5 people. Who do you invite to dinner?
Jesus is gonna. Oh wait, but wait. If it's a dinner,
And by the way,
I have
you
to
don't
be
know
able
what
to
this test
commute.
is. It's not the same as this one.
yeah.
So, all right, you got one. Living, dead,
But as
fictional,
far as-
historical, whatever.
Fictional.
Yeah, fictional characters.
Gandalf.
Okay.
Gandalf, Aslan, George MacDonald, and then let's see, who would I? And then honestly, the Pope Leo the 14th. That would be a
Okay.
really interesting person to have over for dinner.
Notice there's no family in there at all. Right? So for her, Jesus first, and by the way, God is one of mine.
Yeah, but he's omnipresent. He'd be there anyway.
No, they got to show up in person.
But I can make dinner for him though. You know?
And here's the thing:
There anyway.
her reason to invite Jesus and mine are very, very different. I want to see if he shows up. Right? She wants to have a conversation with her Lord. Right? Then she invites 2 fictional characters from Narnia, and then the author. Right? George MacDonald.
George MacDonald didn't write
Oh,
either
no,
of
no,
those.
no.
What-
It's Gandalf, so it's Tolkien, C.S.
Oh
Lewis,
yeah, that's right. That's
and
right.
then the person
I
they
heard
based
Aslan.
off of their stuff.
Yeah, I heard Aslan in there and it got me stuck on
Yeah.
Yeah.
that. So
Tolkien and C.S. Lewis.
So literature is really, really important to her, right? Even more important than her family. And then she had to think about it, and then she thought the Pope, right? She's Catholic. That comes up
That
a
checks
lot
out.
with Catholics, believe it or not. So I know now that if we need something done on a Sunday in the morning, she's not going to be the one to call. Never, right?
Me either.
Or if we schedule ahead, she can go to Saturday Mass and
Yeah.
come out with us on Sunday. But with her books, right? She's going to need stuff to read if she does night shifts, right? She'll be able to concentrate, stay awake, and read a book, right?
Good.
Or
observation.
when her clients are asleep, right? She remember yesterday she even said, "Can we read a book?" Right? I said, "Probably not on your phone," and she said, "No, I mean a real book." There are some studies out now that because everything's gone digital, that actually reading is better for you than reading on your phone. Reading a book, the actual text in the book is better for you.
It is.
They've also now proven, because like I take notes on my iPad and my phone now, I don't use pen and paper, but they've now proven that you learn better when you write your own notes.
You do because you're memorizing it.
Well, it and for more than one reason. You're hearing it, you're seeing it,
And
and
you're
you're touching the pen and writing, right? And so there's 4 actions instead of just the typing, because you don't focus. And I think the mistake they made there, like with me, I don't type that fast, so I really have to focus on what I'm writing, right, and typing. I need to understand every word. But there are people like secretaries that can type 160 words a minute. They don't even have to look down.
Yeah.
And so they do not understand. Oh, you got a phone call?
Oh no, I was just using that shot.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
That's why I said excuse me.
No, yeah, you're good. Well, you should expect you to say the same thing when you got a phone call.
Yeah, I won a typing contest in 9th grade, 185 words a minute.
Yeah, see? So
I
she
took
does.
16 years of piano and 10 years of guitar, so, that was,
That's all.
yeah.
Well,
muscle
and the other thing that also tells me you have quick twitch muscle fibers. There's quick twitch muscle fibers and long endurance muscle fibers. I'm built out of endurance muscle fibers. That's why I could play midfield in soccer and run for 90 minutes straight and barely break a sweat. But I will never run a sprint because I went out for track and I wanted to be one of the sprinters because that was the easiest track workout. Oh no, I got to run the mile, the 2 mile, and the 800 hurdles. It's the longest races in the whole freaking thing.
Yeah, and I competed in 50 and 100 yard
Yep.
swimming.
Yep.
I was a pitcher, I was a server, all,
Yep.
softball.
All the quick
volleyball.
twitch muscle fibers. Yep. All
Gosh,
right.
I'm sitting here listening to their answers, and it's
Mhm.
kind of then you sit there
Yeah,
and
it
think
makes
about
you
my
think.
about
Yeah.
what my
Mhm.
answers would be.
Well, see, when you hear somebody else do it, it taints your answers, right?
It does.
Because now you're thinking instead of reacting, right? And she had a short time to answer, so she's more reacting than she is thinking. Once she got to the 5th one, you saw her, she got stuck, which tells me she can probably handle 4 tasks at a time without being told a 5th,
Yeah.
right?
But I can tell you actually what I actually did pull out of the fire first.
Oh yeah, that's right, you did.
Yeah.
What did you?
Well, I always kept, and I still do, I keep my purse close to the door. So I literally grabbed my purse, and my computer and all my stuff was right there by the door already. And so I threw that out. I grabbed my Bible. I threw that out, outside the house.
Yeah.
And so to me, what I did was, I already put my phone in my pocket when I was, dealing with everything. So then the next thing I was trying to get the pets out, and of course the firemen came and 6-hour alarm fire. We did all that. But my first thing when I kept going back, besides trying to get the cats, was I had a big Tupperware thing of pictures, and so I got that out. And what was so beautiful was that there was a huge lacquered, like this jewelry box that I bought my mom like 30 years ago. It has all the little intricate, inlaid, and it was in my closet cabinet. And I was like, well, I guess that's gone. But what was such a sweet thing was that because the fire started next door and went up and over, there was a water pipe inside my closet that burst, and it was literally spewing in front of that cabinet. So the fireman came out with everything was gone, and he came out holding my mom's jewelry box for me.
Wow.
And it was not, yeah. I was
Not
like,
damaged.
yeah, I was like, yeah. So,
That's
and if I had
God,
gone back
what
to try to get it, I wouldn't have been, because I went back in there, and then all of a sudden I could see where it was collapsing behind me, and I barely got back out. The third time, which I should never have gone back in. But I was trying to get, I wouldn't have gone back in for anything but the cats. And then when I couldn't find Zoe, and then it started collapsing on me. But he had actually gotten wedged between the mattress and gotten in there. But
So a reminder to never wear a one-piece to work.
no.
You think? Yeah, absolutely. Fortunately, these scrubs are 2 pieces,
Yes.
Yeah. there
so
you
you'll
go.
never have to worry about wearing it to work.
Yeah, but it's so far. I started
You
whistling.
know the interesting thing about your
Got
question
everybody up.
about the
Mm-hmm.
because as far as family, you kind of set up because it's a post because it's like you can ask anybody to dinner. So it's like you have like this is a
Exactly.
once
If
in
I-
a lifetime dinner.
Right, right. One of the people I would invite was my mom,
Yes.
straight off the bat, because she died when I was 29, and she and I were at odds.
Aw.
The very last thing my mom ever said to me, because she didn't get the entrepreneurial lifestyle, right? She said, please get a real job so I can die not knowing my son is not a bum.
Wow.
That was the very last thing she said to me.
You just said
Yeah,
wanted
I would
to
So-
definitely if that
all
was
of your accomplishments to
So
her.
no,
if I was at
This is
odds
my
with my
phone.
parents. Yes.
giving you more time
My Lulu is dirty.
is irrelevant, because those are the choices you're going to
I
make.
didn't mean more time.
Hmm.
As far as like, because I was like thinking like, okay, like if my parents were dead, then of course it would be like,
Well, no, right?
but
My dad, I could have invited my dad, right? He's dead. But my dad lived to 86. He saw me start this business. In fact, when I told him
Excuse me.
that I'd figured out the last part of it, that I now had the complete idea of what I was going to do, 2 weeks later he died.
I believe.
Literally.
yeah,
Right?
That's awesome.
And as you get into this, you'll hear more and more and more stories like that. Like, I thought it was really weird, and I was really pissed off that 4 different doctors told me Dad was going to be okay. And the emergency room doctor said, no, go home, get some sleep. He'll be here in the morning, and we see this all the time. I went home and he died. And I found out that when he died, nobody was in the room with him. The caregiver that was there had gone downstairs to get the other caregiver and bring him in, because you know Methodist Hospital downtown is freaking gigantic. The nurse that had been with him at 6:45 in the morning got a call, an emergency call in another room, went down to the other room, and Dad died. And I guarantee you, and I've heard this story so many times after I thought it was just me, that happens a lot. Because you'll find out as you go through this, it's weird. Some people actually pick the time they want to die. Dad's a very proud man. One of the weakest moments in your life is when you die, right? Because you lose everything, right? Everything relaxes and shuts off, and everything comes out. And for Dad, that would be highly embarrassing. Plus, he'd seen me just like flip out with grief when I had to put my dog down, right? And so I think, in truth, he did that because he chose that moment, right? So for me, there's no reason to invite him back because he
You got
knows what I'm
closure.
doing,
That's
right?
true, that's true.
And inviting him back might make him feel guilty because he left without,
Seeing
you know,
full
with his dignity, right? His choice. So
Interesting.
yeah, it's a fascinating deal to go through, and it really does tell you a tremendous amount about people. The more you do it, the better you get at understanding what their choices mean, right? And I do this with my friends, and I'm not kidding you. The weirdest thing is some of the most religious people do not say Jesus or God, or the Pope even. They're completely out, and I'm like, you're one of the hypocrites. The truly religious, the truly faithful, they always have a religious figure in there, always. It's really fascinating to learn how people react. Okay, so let's get into
neck
this.
rubs and ear rubs.
Oh yeah, that's his
he's like,
favorite
yeah,
thing.
you
I
got
feel
me.
that he's just sitting here.
Tank is the back of his neck. That's his thing. Yes, I
You
see.
know,
Dream.
if you come back,
Remember me telling y'all about the fact that they resuscitated my dad in the elevator? They didn't have a DNR. And the other thing is, I'm thinking about, you're making me think about this, and I never thought about this before. My grandson was born on August 28th. My birthday is August 30th. My dad had a
That's
heart
my
attack.
brother's birthday.
30th?
Mhm.
Oh, cool. But they did a DNR on him on the 28th, but he lasted until my birthday. But to think back, it's like, I'm so glad that he didn't die on my grandson's birthday. He passed on mine, which was a gift because we wanted him to be out of pain. So you kind of think about, timing and what we choose.
It's a gift to
and-
you, but it
Yeah.
would have been not a gift to
For
your
him.
grandson.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
last story. So we got to focus now. We got to get through a lot of stuff today. This is our policy and procedures manual. Go lay down. Go lay down. Come on. Go lay down.
He wants rubs.
This is one of the things you will have to kind of understand what our policies and procedures are.
Okay.
And if you have a question, ask, right? Because I have this entire manual uploaded, and I can get answers to that question very, very quickly. But there's a lot of stuff in it you do need to understand, so you will be getting a copy of it. You will not be tested on it, but you
I
will
was
get a
just
copy
about
of it.
to ask if
No.
we were going to get
No,
that.
no. That's way too much even for me to digest. It's a pain in the
Well,
pain
but
in
you
the
will
backside.
need to read it, go through it, and you do have to sign off that you
Yeah,
received
that
it
you
and
received
reviewed it.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I was just asking if we
So-
were going to get a copy of it.
Oh yeah, you will. Everybody will once I get it completed. Okay, so let's get into oral care. This one is kind of an interesting thing because again, like I told you yesterday, the steps in toothbrushing are complicated, right? Especially if you're dealing with somebody with advanced dementia, like my dad, right? He wanted to brush his teeth, but he just couldn't. It was hard for him to hold his hand up there that long. His movements were like really, really slow. And then he would do like 3 teeth and spit, right? So my caregivers actually had to do his teeth for him. So as we move forward, I want you to think about a couple of things. So let me go back. So if backwards, not forwards. Okay, so if we're talking about dentures, right? How do you clean dentures, Mary?
You clean them the same way you clean normal teeth after you take them out.
Do you not just put them in a cup of
I
water
was
with
going
one
to
of
say,
the fizzy
don't you
tablets?
soak them
I
in
don't know.
water?
I have never had teachers. Sorry.
I've seen on movies they normally like get a cup and they'll soak them in water or soak them in something. I don't know exactly.
There's
what it is.
little tablets that you can drop in. That does not actually clean them, right? They try and say that it does, but it's just like your teeth, right? If you brush but don't floss, there's a lot of food left between your teeth. Okay, and so with dentures, you're right. Take them out. You literally brush them. Okay, and we'll get into this in just a second on how. But I'm touching the wrong thing.
No, it doesn't work.
Okay, so with denture care, you ask the client to remove their dentures. Don't take them out. And my grandpa thought it was the funniest thing to do, and stick his upper teeth out when we're talking. If she is unable to grasp the upper dentures, use a washcloth. Why would you use a washcloth?
You don't want to put your
You don't
hands
wanna-
and your
yeah.
germs in it and touch
Right?
on
Even
those
if you have a
stuff.
glove on,
They're about to
right?
put it back in their mouth.
But
right?
also you get a better grip, cause they can be
Right.
slick and stuff and you
Because they
don't
got
wanna
spit
hurt
all
them.
over, 'em,
Yeah.
right? Gently pull
And to
down
protect your teeth if
first
they go.
and then out. Remove the lower dentures by pulling up and out. Line the sink with a washcloth. Why would you line the sink with a washcloth?
Cause they can break.
They're-
It says right there. The washcloth, because dentures, believe it or not, are really fragile. They're very, very hard plastic, because they have to put up with all the pressure that our jaws can put on them. And if you drop them, they'll snap. Okay? So we want to make sure that there's something soft for them to fall on. Then rinse the dentures in cool or tepid water before brushing them. Not too hot. Again, it can deform the dentures, right? Because they are plastic. Apply toothpaste or cleanser to the denture brush and or toothbrush. Again, the electric toothbrushes work fantastic for this. Brush the dentures on all, this is not a slide I've looked at yet, surfaces, not services. Rinse all surfaces of the dentures under cool or tepid running water. Do not use hot water. Rinse the denture cup, right? So here's the cup thing. Rinse the denture cup before placing the clean dentures in the cup. The reason you gotta put them in a cup is because if they dry out, one, they're incredibly uncomfortable, and two, they can crack. So if the client wants the dentures back in their mouth, rinse the dentures well and assist them to put them in the mouth. Use denture cream if the client desires. Insert the top dentures first, in and press up. Press gently to ensure a seal. Repeat with the bottom dentures in and down, right?
What's denture cream?
It's like
It's the
polygrip,
adhesive.
right? It just holds them in place.
So you just put it on the
Yeah,
inside.
a little line on the inside of the
line.
denture.
But
and
But that's also
stick it
where
up
you
in
need
there.
to ask them, you know, if they're capable, because everybody has their little preferences about how little or how much
Mhm.
that they really want. And there's different pressure points, obviously you can tell I've done this before. There's different pressure points where they need more or less. Because a lot of times with the dentures, they've either been misshapen over time or it wasn't really a perfect fit to begin with. Nowadays, if it's actually made properly, you don't have to use any at all or very little to make it stay in there.
Okay, and again, there's the starting for and ending for, right? So it's always starting for and ending for before you do any task, okay?
Because some dentures have
Shaving
actually the
with an
metal.
electric razor, okay,
Metal.
starting for again.
Yeah.
Turn on the razor and hold the skin taut, right? As you get old, the skin gets wrinkly, right? So you just kind of move it with your hands, right, to get it tight. Even as if you watch guys shave, you'll see them lift their head like this to shave their neck. And again, it's to stretch the skin out, right? Because the stubble stands out better. Turn on the razor, hold the skin taut. If the client is able, allow him to shave himself. Almost everybody can with an electric razor, right? Except those that have the palsy shake, or if they can't lift their hand up that high, but most people can, okay? Dad could do it up until probably 6 months before he died.
That's good.
And it was just because he got to a point where he couldn't do anything. Begin shaving with smooth, even movements in a circle, okay? And the reason we go in a circle, yeah, this is an electric razor. Don't do it with a normal razor.
Yeah, that's all.
When you can, right? You can shave people with a normal razor, but if you nick them, that can be a real problem if they're on blood thinners,
I was gonna say. Yeah.
right? But the reason you go in a circle with an electric razor, and this is like, there are two different kinds of razors. You see the Norelco, which has the 3 little heads on it, and they spin in a circle, right? Just like that one, yep. And those are the ones you move in a circle with, because the blades cut in every direction. If you got the straight ones that just have the two little lines, all the blades do is move back and forth, and you just go up and down with it, okay? Shave the beard, God, man, I really gotta correct these. Shave the beard with a back and forth motion in the direction of the beard growth. Shave the beard in a circular motion with a three-headed shaver. Shave the chin and under the chin. And by the way, going in the direction is really, it doesn't really get all the hair, right? So it's an up and down thing. The only place you really got to pay attention to going with beard growth is down here at the bottom of the neck, because the skin is much more tender. So you always shave up on the bottom of the neck, and only about that far. Shave the chin and under the chin. When you have finished, offer a mirror to the client because they want to look good, right? This is guys. This is one of the rare times you'll actually be taking care of a guy and have to shave him. And there are a lot of vain guys, like they're vain men.
For me to do it.
Yeah, would you get that? I don't know who that is. Might be for upstairs, unless Sandra has an interview.
She left, I thought.
She
Something
is.
else you left.
Damn it, it is an interview.
Is it for you?
No, it's not for me. I've scheduled all mine after 5 o'clock. That was another test, right? Because all of them were like 2 to 2:30. And the day before the interview, I said, no, I need to reschedule. I want to see if they all are open to reacting quickly, right? To changing what they do. Left brainers have a lot of trouble sometimes with pivoting, right? Hello. Yeah, if you'll have a seat, Sandra will be back.
Oh, she, we need to let her know.
No. Come on, buddy. Hey, here. Dustin. Tank, here. Tank, here. Come on, go lay down. Yeah, it's a good boy. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to make sure that we get, and you can move your hand across their face, right, to see if it's smooth. You'll feel if there's stubble left, if you missed a spot, you'll feel it. We do it every morning when we shave. Fortunately, being redheaded, I don't have to shave every single day. Of course, I was 19 before I actually needed to shave.
And my dad, we had a conversation about asking about his shaving, and he was like, you have to remember, hair grows in different directions. So he was very persnickety about his grooming. That's why it broke my heart at the end. It was
He broke down
really hard to
blisters.
keep him manicured. So he was,
Okay, so next, shaving with a safety razor or disposable razor. Okay, razors are a very interesting animal. Although they're called safety razors, they can still cut you. Especially if you got like little bumps on your skin or anything like that. Those really soft wrinkles. So again, starting 4, soften the client's beard with warm, wet washcloth, right? And if you go to an actual barber that shaves, I've done this a few times, they will put a warm hot towel around your face. They literally wrap it around your whole face. It softens the beard. It's the reason I shave in the shower, is because the warm water in the shower softens the beard. If I do it outside of the shower, I have got to use like a shave cream and then
no, I found the squirrel. Sorry.
and then let the shave cream sit for a minute to soften the beard. If not, man, it's like,
Big difference.
just think about pulling a hair out of your head one at a time. That's kind of what it feels like. Okay, because y'all shave your legs, right?
Yeah, I was like, cause hey,
But
we shave.
Yeah, but the skin on your face is much more sensitive than the skin on your legs,
Really?
right? Oh, absolutely.
I shave my
Absolutely.
face all the time, but my legs, oh my god.
You gotta try shaving in like the entire face.
Oh yeah, I use like those little I think the eyebrow razors. Yeah, I use that to shave my face. It actually lightens up your face too when you shave.
Well,
Takes the
you
shower.
wonder why women have more wrinkles than men?
Why?
Because every day
Who
when we
said that?
shave, it's a proved fact. Trust me.
I'll fight you on that one.
No, they do, absolutely do. And the reason we don't have as much is because we exfoliate every single day. The razor actually takes off a couple of layers of skin. just cells, right? But
So
it's exfoliating
You
every
guys
single
would
day.
shave your face every day?
Supposed to.
Really?
Yeah.
I would do it like once a month.
When I oh no, if I went for a month, I'd have a beard.
Ooh, they scared me.
No, they
Yeah,
saw,
they're
they
just
told you,
squirrel.
they saw the squirrel.
Okay, I'll let you out. I'll let you out. I know. Come
You're
here.
talking about, why are you still standing there?
Go get him.
Go on. Go on. Go on. Go on. No.
No, they can see it
It's
right
all
there.
squirrel. Okay, so
That would be
and they
something
hate
funny
that
on
squirrel.
there.
Man, they hate that squirrel.
You can tell Sandra that she's.
I already did.
Oh, you did, okay.
Yep. And so, for a few minutes to get it soft, right? If the client's able, allow him to shave himself, right? Lather the face with shaving cream. Again, it helps keep the beard soft, hold the skin taut, shaving the end. With a razor, you always shave in the direction of the growth. Okay? Always. Because if not, it pulls the hair harder and can create ingrown hairs. And that is not fun. Hold the skin taut, shave in the direction of the hair growth, shave the beard in downward strokes on the face and upward strokes on the neck. And again, it's only the lower half of the neck that you go up on. You shave down all the way under the chin and then up on about the last 1.5 inches of the neck. Okay? And again, rinse the beads off to keep it wet. I don't even know what that means. You rinse the razor often to keep it wet.
I was gonna ask you, because I was like, what am I missing?
This
That's okay. We'll fix it.
is funny. Okay. Now, when you're finished, wash and rinse the client's face with warm, wet washcloth. Man, I'm gonna have trouble today. If he is able, let him use the washcloth himself. Use a clean towel to dry his face. If the client wants after shave lotion, moisten your palms with the lotion and pat. Don't rub it, pat it on his face. After shave lotion is generally an alcohol-based substance. If they're used to it, it'll work. I had
It's like Home Alone scene.
huh?
It's like the Home Alone scene.
Sort of,
Shaved his
yeah.
face.
So I had a client one time, a black guy who lived in Philly, and I found he and his family a really nice home, but it was in a really bad neighborhood. And I warned him about it because this is right after the foreclosure era, and I told him, I said, man, this is a really, really dangerous neighborhood. He's like, I grew up in South Philly, man, I can handle anything. They bought the house. They got a great deal on it. A year later, he called me and goes, we need to move. I'm like, what? He goes, this is way worse than South Philly. And I was like,
Aw.
tried to warn you. But he was a barber. He's like, dude, you gotta come in and let me cut your hair. I'm like, man, there's not a lot to cut. He's like, no, come on, man, you gotta come in. So when I needed a haircut, I went into a shop, and it was in Sharpstown Mall. Back when Sharpstown Mall was kind of a ghetto mall. And I went into a shop, and it was the funniest thing, because I walked in, and like, I'm the only white dude in the place, right? And the woman behind the desk goes,
How can I help
are you sure you're in the right place, honey?
Yeah.
I said, yes, ma'am, I am. I'm here to get a haircut. She goes, I don't think you're in the right place. I said, it's a barbershop, right? She goes, yeah, but I don't think you're in the right place. I said, I'm here to see Heavy D. And she goes, oh. And she just screamed heavy, like at the top of her lungs. And he comes out, he's like, brother, good to see you. Slaps me, hugs me, drags me back to his chair. And he does the full 9 yards. First time in my life I've ever had a fade. Last time in my life I'll ever have a fade.
A
White guys
fade.
look like they're white. There's no fade to our hair. It's just white up to like right here. So he then proceeded to shave me. And at the end of it, I thought he was going to put, a little aftershave or cologne on, something like that. He slapped my face and I got lit. And he started laughing. He goes, oh my God, dude, I forgot you were white. That's like pure alcohol. I'm sorry. And my face is like bright red.
Aw.
And he's like, I've got to do that with our guys because, otherwise they get ingrown hairs. We have to close the pores. I'm like, you close mine up.
Shut him down.
But so you got to be real careful when you are when you're doing this with your clients, because if it's alcohol based, be really gentle with it, because it can make it. If they're used to it, they'll understand it. They won't react. But if they're not, they're gonna react.
So
Any
maybe
place-
prep them a minute. Like, is this your usual stuff?
Yep,
And then,
absolutely.
Got it.
And then place the towel and washcloth in the proper container. Right? Don't want dirty stuff laying around. All right. Dressing assistants. Clothes are closely associated with the personality of the person. Whenever possible, encourage them to wear the kinds of clothes they're used to wearing. Why would we do that?
Makes them feel like themselves.
And what?
It's not you controlling them, and it helps with their independence.
That too. And what?
Their dignity.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're still missing one crucial thing.
That's also the stuff that they have.
Yeah. Not always though.
I mean, it
You know, their
makes them
family
feel
could buy
like-
them stuff.
It makes them feel like they're self or something.
It's stuff they're comfortable with, right? That they remember, right? It creates a comfort level for them. So,
Familiarity makes a big deal.
mhm, makes them feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Hand soak, foot soak, oral care, denture care. I don't know why she feels like she needs to do that.
Sorry.
We both empathize with the fact that you're just sitting there for an
Okay.
interview, and you just
Yeah.
So I really don't want you to do that
Oh,
for a
why?
reason. It's a test, right?
Oh.
She's got to sit quietly, like she would with a client, right? If she can't sit quietly and wait for an important interview,
Mhm.
she'll never sit with our clients.
Okay.
She'll be on her phone or.
I felt
doing
like it
something
was
else.
an initial courtesy. Okay.
I know, but yeah, that's like when I told her Sandra's out, she'll be right back. Okay.
That should have been enough.
Yeah, and again, because we want to find out who they really are, right? It wasn't planned, but it works, right?
Okay.
And I think Sandra forgot, so that's a bad thing about Sandra. She forgot she had the interview,
Yeah.
right?
But you told her and she's on her way back. So.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so, and they're just doing blood tests. I mean, what, it took 10 minutes yesterday?
I mean, it took a little while
So-
longer because I had to wait for the bathroom. I mean, if you're just drawing blood, it's
Mhm.
not long at all. That's a fun. I was like, drawing blood was more fun than doing that yesterday. So
Well,
Okay.
thank you for giving me the method to the madness. I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Okay.
No, and I want you to learn because, you know, this is
We're
you,
supposed to
right?
do, yeah.
So I run all sorts of tests,
Mhm.
right? I pay attention to everything.
Mhm.
And when you're looking, like yesterday, right? When I did build me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich,
Mhm.
it's not because I don't know how to do it or I want him to see if he'll just respond. It's because I want to see how, right? I want to see that he can actually speak to normal people.
Gotcha.
And I got back a computer speak. So, like telling you two, you had to be here on Memorial Day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both of you said no problem. Neither one of you argued with me.
Mm-hmm.
Had you said, "Oh my God, no, it's Memorial Day," I would have been like, "Man, well, okay." So that was big points for you there.
glad it wasn't
I will
Easter
always-
Monday.
I will always be here as backup whenever you need me. It's always
Yeah,
there.
I'm like, that's
Respect
the
and
other thing.
support. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, if it was a Sunday morning and it was like we don't have anyone to take care of this old
Yeah.
lady, it's
Then
like,
we make
well,
our change.
yeah,
Well,
it's like
yeah,
I'll
of
just go to a
course.
2:00 Spanish mass, whatever, you know. So
But I had with my last job, I had to set strong boundaries because otherwise nobody respected anything. But this is
No.
important because we have to make
Right.
sure everybody's
yeah, it's like if
covered.
you're like, oh, you just need to come in and do
Yeah,
office
our
work,
problem-
I'd be like, hey,
Yeah.
ooh,
Yeah.
take care of people.
Our problem here
Mhm.
is that we are 24/7.
Yeah.
And
And you have to make sure
when
everybody's taken
we're
care
talking
of.
about you having to cover phones, right? That's
Mhm.
why, is because there are days when we're gonna have to answer the phone because like when I came downstairs and at 3 o'clock in the morning and I found caregivers that I was paying a company $28 an hour to be there and they were asleep, I was on the phone with the company at 3 a.m. going, you need to get somebody else over here now
No.
because this is unacceptable. And it just, it happened all the time.
That's
All the
scary,
time.
because anything could have happened.
No.
That's the whole point, is so you can rest so the carrier
Yeah, I'm
stays
like-
awake, you know? Yeah.
My client's flipping out, like,
Yeah,
you know,
okay.
their breathing just got really heavy, like, you know.
Yeah, I
Well,
slept,
think about this,
Yeah,
right? It's not even that really.
you know, it's part of it.
Yeah, but here's the most important thing, right? Because if the breathing's heavy, I mean, the only thing you can really do is kind of keep an eye on it, right? But most of these folks, when they gotta pee, they want to get out of bed. And if you're sound asleep, and man, let me tell you, I walked in the room, the dogs would move and everything, I would literally have to go up and get their chair to wake them up, sometimes 3 or 4 times before they
Oh,
would actually
no.
wake up, right?
So they would have slipped through
That's-
They would have slept through everything.
Terrifying.
And
I'm
Dad-
like, if I felt
And Dad was sitting there trying to get out of bed. Fortunately, he couldn't. And we had bed
Oh,
alarms when
wow.
he could. So if he started moving
Yeah,
when he could, the bed alarm would go off.
yeah.
And so when I'm like, do you see what Dad's doing right now? They're like, what? I said, look, watch him. And he's still trying to get out of bed. I said, if he manages to get his feet off the edge of that bed, he's down.
Yeah.
And if he hits his head on that nightstand and dies, I'm going to press charges. And believe you me, everybody else out there will do the same thing. I am not a litigious person. I really do truly hate lawyers. But in that case,
Consequences.
absolutely I'm going to press manslaughter charges. Because you aren't doing your job. And if I'm going to do it, those litigious idiots out there that don't have a lot of money will certainly sue you over it. Okay? So it's super important. And we're very, very careful with, or I'm going to be very, very careful with who we assign overnight shifts. Because you have to be, I mean, to do an overnight shift, you've got to be dedicated to that, right? You have to be able to sleep during the day. You can't go run errands, you can't do all this and then think, oh, I'll go to bed, you know, for the last couple of hours. Or when I get home in the morning, I'll sleep until 8 and then get the kids off to school and then go run all my errands and then I'll go do my shift. Well, if you get 2 hours of sleep, you're never going to make it through your shift without falling asleep.
Not
You
good to
can't.
anybody.
Right? So it takes a dedication to do that. It's like working night shifts anywhere, right? If you're at a gas station, a convenience store, the grocery store stocking, it's a little bit easier because you're moving. A convenience store, not so much. You're standing there behind the register, and overnight you might get 4 or 5 clients the whole time. The thought of being held up will give you a little adrenaline,
Yeah.
but
So yeah, if you're just sitting in a house, no cameras, just the old person sleeping.
okay. So back to this. Now that we're moving on again. So with I'm coming as soon as possible. Oh God, never fails. I'm not, since we're recording right now, I'm not going to read what she typed. But she's having a little trouble with the drug test. So always encourage their independence, right? And
Right.
we talked about this. What does encouraging their independence mean?
Allow them to do things themselves.
Yep.
To safely
Right.
do everything that they can
Yeah.
for themselves.
And if they're undressed, right? We want to make sure the room is warm. Usually warmer than normal, right? You'll feel hot because we're still young and healthy. When they're 80 something, their skin is paper thin and there's very little fat underneath it, not so much. Now, if you got somebody that's pretty overweight, right? They might be able to handle a little bit cooler temperature than the skinnier older folks, but it's rare.
I seriously love it.
See, I love to be cold. Have a conversation with them to prevent anxiety or embarrassment during this time. Again, it's a dignity thing, right? So, ACHC actually has rules on this. So, respect the client's clothing preferences, cultural traditions, and comfort. Ensure room temperature is warm and private. Assist gently. Avoid overextending the client's body, right? So don't like pull their arm way behind them to get, you know, a sleeve in or something like that. It's a little bit different than dressing somebody. We'll get with Sandra and she'll work with you on like putting on a shirt, buttoning a shirt, things like that. Because again, they're really, really fragile. You pull an arm back too far, you might snap the bone. Okay? Yeah. And they're so fragile you really don't even hear it. I mean, they fracture and you just don't know you've done it. And then they're going,
Rotator
oh,
cuff
right?
injuries are
You
some of
tear
the
all
worst.
kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Nuclear
encourage them
alarm.
to do as much as possible independently. document assistance provided and any change in skin conditions or mobility, right? So like if you normally get them dressed and they can lift their arm and stuff like that, if one day they can't lift it very high, that's a documentable change, right? If all of a sudden they can't do anything themselves, documentable change. If they were getting dressed by themselves normally with no problem at all, and then next week you're having to help them, documentable change, right? So we always want to do that. All right, so the how-to steps. Again, starting 4, right? Always wash your hands before any task, right? Allow the client to have a choice in their clothing wear. Assist gently with the removal of soiled clothing. And again, man, if it's a diaper, be really careful when you're taking them off, because you can just drag it all over them if you're not. Be cognizant of your injury or weaknesses that your client may be experiencing, and assist them to maximize comfort during the process. Okay? So again, we've got to support their mobility, right? So if they're standing up and they're uneasy, help them stand, right? Don't do it for them, but keep them balanced, right? Hands on shoulders, hands on hips, something like that. Avoid forcing the limbs. Always check for skin issues, right? They're undressed. It's a perfect time to look for, anything happening on their body. Use proper body mechanics yourself, right? Because you got to protect yourself. So if they're leaned over, don't bend over at the waist, kneel down, lift with your legs. Okay, the next one's a lot of fun.
You said always look for any body scars?
Yeah, not body scars, but changes, right?
Skin condition, yeah.
Like if they've got, a redness that's appearing, if they've got a new wound, if they've got a rash, anything like that, right?
Bruises.
Or all of a sudden if they're a lot paler, right, than they were before. Do not force or overextend the client's body into clothing. Allow the client to assist as much based on their ability, to assist as much as possible based on their ability. Provide assistance with all pieces of clothing only if they need it. Shirts, pants, socks, shoes, and undergarments, bra for women, undershirts for men. A lot of men in their 80s still wear undershirts, okay? Most of us have grown out of it because back in the day, you couldn't do laundry as often, and laundry took literally a week to do. Now we got all these wonderful machines, and we can get these dirty, so we don't wear undergarments as much, especially down here where it's so freaking hot. And then you got the final 4, right? Now the fun thing. Have you ever put on compression stockings?
Yes. Ugh.
Okay, getting them on yourself is a pain in the butt. Getting them on somebody else is incredibly difficult, especially for high compression.
Yeah.
Right? Dad had really bad edema until we got everything straightened out in him, and got him on a hardcore diuretic, and got all the edema out of his legs, and then the compression socks were loose. So again, starting 4, right? Wash your hands, do everything else, ensure the client is laying down, and let's do this. What are the starting 4?
You have to gather your equipment.
Yep.
Wash your hands. Put on gloves. Talk to the client.
Right on. Okay? Ensure the client is laying down. Why?
Because if they're standing up and you're trying to, that's just a huge accident waiting to
Okay.
happen. Or even
And
sitting down.
if they're sitting in a chair, you can do it, but if they're on the bed, which is usually where you are, right, in getting dressed, if you lift up on the leg, they're just going to roll back on the bed, right? So laying down is a little bit easier. You can have them pull one leg up, right? And 2, when they pull that leg up, give them a little stretch, right? Don't really force it, but you can stretch the leg a little bit, a couple of times, right? It's a mobility thing. This is the easiest upon waking in the morning. Turn the stocking inside out to at least the heel area. Ensure the skin is clean and dry. Place the stocking over the client's toes. Begin moving the stocking over the foot. Okay, so it's this area that's really the hardest once you get it there, if you do it right. If you actually roll the stocking up and you're strong enough to stretch it a little bit to get it over the foot, then you just roll it up the leg. The problem is a compression stocking, when you roll it up, is like a single rubber band is easy to stretch. You put 9 of them together, it's really much harder to stretch, right? When you roll that thing up, you go from a thin layer to a thing like this. And it's much more difficult. Like stretching high compression stockings even challenges me, okay? So find out what the stockings are like first. You can roll them up and see if you can stretch them. If you can, and get them over the client's foot without having to because the hardest part is the heel right across here, right? That's the widest point. And if you get it over the heel and it's stuck here, all of a sudden you've got a constriction, right? Or if you get here and you're trying to get it over the heel and you're pulling down, you're gonna leave a giant bruise across the top of their foot, okay? So we have to be really, really careful when we do these. Compression stockings must only be applied as ordered by the plan of care. Confirm skin integrity, avoid wrinkles, especially avoid wrinkles in the stockings, right? Because they're compressed. And you know what it's like when you wake up in the morning and you've had wrinkles on your pillow? Confirm skin integrity, avoid wrinkles, ensure proper fit, monitor for signs of poor circulation or discomfort, document applications and client tolerance. When I was running every day, I was getting cramps in my calves. And I put on a single pair of compression stockings. It seemed to help a little bit. But I thought, oh man, I'll just put on 2
Oh, gosh.
to get the extra compression, get everything working.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah, that after about 1 mile, I was in incredible pain. I actually sat down in the middle of the trail,
Yeah.
took my shoes off, took both pairs of socks off, and walked back to the car.
Yeah, your leg's in a tourniquet.
Yeah, literally. Okay, and again, document anything that's different, client tolerance or change in tolerance.
One second.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta call my mom. She wants to know if she wasn't even here this morning.
Wants to know what?
You know, when I said I was gonna be late and I was like my babysitter wasn't there.
Oh yeah.
She wants to know if she has to drive or.
But she
Okay.
didn't understand that you're here.
Go.
Huh, my mom?
Yeah,
Yeah, 'cause my aunt dropped me
Okay.
off.
okay,
Let's take a break.
okay.
We need to take more of them anyway.